Light conversation is what will push this thing forward.
People from the disco era like to think they're very clever because they have billions and suits.
Courtesy extended is not a responsibility.
We need sober leaders.
Who raised those people?
Na kama kawaida unajua tumefika sehemu kama hii, siku kama hii. Mimi kwa kifupi wananitanga mfupi wa kimu mrefu wa matendo, mtoto wa kijanja toka Nyanza, niko ndani.
Albert reporting for duty. One time pin.
Yeah, it's a guy Paul. It's OTP. So yeah.
Platinum private developer.
Hey,
call me Raph.
Wagwan, good people, it's your boy Gizzy Supreme, aka Glenn Brian Mine. Guys, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's one of those days that a Guinness World Record had to be broken. And it's quite impressive to see that a trumpeter, McKinley, completed a 24-hour non-stop trumpet playing. 24 hours playing the trumpet. Yani hiyo hewa alikuwa nayo was intense for 24 hours.
Puliza manzia.
So big up kwake man.
McKinley music.
That is what happens when human being is not limited, man.
Yes. Na ametoka hapa Kenya. Big up sana kwake.
Tarumbeta is the trumpet.
Yes.
So already ashapiga yake ya siku ya mwisho.
Shona trumpet venye mtu ujaza hewa hivi.
Man, actually I know how to play the trumpet
For real?
Yes, I know all wind instruments. Mimi nazitambua trombone, trumpet, baritone. Mimi nazitambua, nilizisomea.
I know why you are supreme.
You know? Yes, kaka. So big up kwake. That task isn't easy. Even playing the national anthem inakuanga tu ngumu. So for 24 hours, big up wa jamaa.
Speaking of 24 hours, Bob Marley reggae album was awarded the Grammys 2025 this year.
I took too long, man, but
like the best reggae album.
Mbona wamengoja hivyo?
So many years, man.
Yeah.
Ni mbana watu ba.
some the bring back kina Gregory Isaacs.
Bana. On that same tip, it was Bob Marley's birthday on the 5th of Feb.
5th.
Big up sana too.
Akona the same birthday na Ronaldo.
Alas.
Na Neymar.
Speaking
na
of
Carlos
Ronaldo,
Tevez.
Ronaldo actually during his birthday was awarded with a statue, and it's quite impressive to see that you can get a statue in New York.
Ni ile New York.
Central Hub ya yani a lot of cash.
LD wanapoenda benchmark.
So this is it's a 12-foot sculpture made out of bronze, and it was unveiled in Times Square, New York for his 40th birthday by Sergio Fanari. The sculpture honors Ronaldo as a cultural icon.
How America
Ronaldo
thinks. Ju say they don't even first of all America don't watch soccer. They don't watch. They're not fans. Lakini they are very ready to recognize cultural giants like Ronaldo, which is important, which is huge.
Yeah.
The other time I saw or read somewhere that Portugal ilikuwa inataka kumtengenezea do. Unaona vile hapa Kenya sasa kuna kitambo tulikuanga na face of Kenyatta kwa nini. They wanted to make a currency maybe kama ni 5 bob ya huko. They put his face cause man the reason why walikuwa wanataka kufanya hivyo is because he was the first person to hit 1 billion following across all the social media. So it just kept bro 1 billion bro.
Ronaldo.
All right.
So as guys are being awarded, others are being deported.
Wanga bad.
Wow.
We're having a massive deportation of migrants since Nani came in. Trump. Alikuja na vibe ya America first, which is not wrong. I don't know why people are bitter, but I feel iko in order.
True.
But they're number one. Don't you think they have a responsibility towards everyone else?
Si get your bile yenye African leaders wako nayo sahi.
So dependent.
Yeah.
Huge brands from the West like Patek Philippe, which is a watch brand for the watch fanatics out there. They're set to discontinue the Nautilus models, which these models currently, yani if you have one, will retail easily for $500,000 up. in dollars. So
punch.
now is the time to cop these watches and investments. Yani if you're looking for an asset, yani an asset that is set to grow apart from land, because tunaambiwa yani land is the asset that will grow. Watches na ikuwe mbota ile ya ukweli, it is set to give you a lot of cash. So just look out for that. If you're looking for an investment, the Patek Philippe,
you need to watch
because they're gonna
I love it like that. Yeah.
Watch this space.
Also, I was watching that our female SWAT team arriving in Haiti.
You never know Kenya soldiers wanapitia huko, man.
From the word go, I never felt like ati kitu iko na impact kwetu as such. Like kwa map. Hata relationship, yani hata ukiweza kata mbao Haiti venye zitafika ama mahindi ikiweza vuna Haiti ama like it's a yani geographical political whatever like
Sasa wewe unashangaa vile watu mademu wetu wamefika huko ama nini?
Maybe ameenda kufanya
wanaenda Congo. Speaking of Congo, a lot has been going on. Nimeona, I don't know what's wrong with Africa, but niliona like hiyo story ya cobalt. Like major tech companies like they depend on cobalt.
Yes,
big time.
Yeah. The massive yenye wana depend on inatoka Africa, Congo to be specific. I don't know how hata sijui kama tutawai stabilize Congo.
Africa can never find peace if Congo do not know what peace is.
Normal.
Yeah. It will never happen, because it even worries me so much. A lot of things are happening across the globe. Everyone is talking about every other things but Congo. I don't know how much of interest do these superpowers in terms of administrative officers, now the regimes of different countries. I don't know the kind of interest that they have with this specific country. It can't be a country that has the potential to become the richest country in Africa do not know peace. It is very very saddening situation too.
Very true. I think peace usually thrives when initiatives or the vision of several people comes together, so they are aligned. The incentives are aligned. Congo kuna incentives mob, kuna the soldiers who, and we don't know who is really funding them. Nani mob, see, it's not one single army versus another. It's very many different places who is supplying guns and vehicles and food and money, so and then there's that, and then of course there's the locals ambao wanatumika vibaya, right? Hiyo ni utumwa tu, the rebels of course, and then there's the legitimate government. So all of these parties, by the way, they don't really have the same visions or the same goals. So what you find ni hiyo kitu imekuwa ikiendelea for years now.
For years,
I think since I was born.
What I read, because they know how rich Congo is, each and every country that maybe they have interest in whatever is happening in Congo, maybe it could be the minerals, of course, that is what they're going for.
Yep.
You send your troop to go and occupy a specific place. In that troop, you have got your researchers, you have got your miners. So these guys, wakishajua maybe Nairobi place flani kama Utawala iko na gold, wao wanaenda wana secure that place. They'll fight. They'll not even involve themselves in the fights that are going on in Juja or anything. You just fight, but don't go to Utawala. So that is what Albert is trying to say. That's why unaona kuna different forces. People do not know them. Wanakuja tu.
No.
Kama sisi mbogi yetu tunaweza sema tuende tuchukue the eastern part of Kivu.
Chukue center moja.
Na tupigane tu hapo, watu wapigane all the places. We don't involve ourselves in their whatever.
Yeah.
Sisi wakifika tu hapa ndio tunafungua war. Yeah, so
it's very sad and very disheartening.
It's quite shocking that Africa, the cradle of mankind, hapa ndio minerals ziko. This is where the resources are, but yet we are dependent.
Like back then ukiangalia when Gaddafi was still alive, when he create Libya, and his idea like Africa come together as one, then we have like a certain strategy on like currency like inaweza work within African, like so the western countries also are majuu wakuje like get something from us on a higher price.
Mimi kusikia vitu kama hivyo ndio vinafanyika Congo makes me want to have Africa ikuwe kama one country. You see the way continents are, Africa tunakuwa na vitu vyetu, our minerals, ama nini.
Kunapata rezo ameka over 15 years. Kwani we nani?
that's another issue. I don't know. We are not yet civilized as such. Sorry to say so, because if you can look, yani at Africa too in general, it's a beautiful place, but we have so many mean people. In other sad news is that we have lost one of the legendary journalists,
veteran,
Leonard Mambo Mbotela.
Yes,
legend of the game.
Yeah, manze, growing up minili pata hizo I don't kama nyimuli unaona simta yetu like tulipenda music sana. So I guess even the first electronic nilipata niki grow was a radio. And over the years hata TV haikuwa sana. Over the years tulikuwa tuna upgrade to radio. Tunatoka kwa hii ya cassette tunaenda 3CD changer. So ni like yani radio was everything to us. Music was such a big thing. So hata ukiwa mless, the only entertainment yenye unaweza pata ni utoke shule ufungulie radio usikie ngoma nini. Nilikuwa na privilege fulani nikigrow mzae hakuwa mse wa church sana. So alikuwa na ma album fulani za Tupac. So alikuwa na kina Biggie. So hizo but my mom was so alikuwa mse church sana. But at least nilikuwa na seti. Sikuwa naelewa shit lakini
nasikizia tu.
Nasikizia mabit.
Ulikuwa na seti. Ulikuwa na seti. Alianza gitaa.
Tokea shule na seti hapo ngoma. So hata hiyo time like maybe mzaange kama kuna hiyo time ya news nini ungesikia hiyo sauti, matangazo ya vifo, matangazo maalum.
He had a good voice.
Unasikiliza tu.
He had a unique voice.
And it was so ilikuwa na power, ilikuwa na such a commanding tone. The way he
amekuwa relevant till hata time ya TV nini KBC. I used to watch ile Je Uniungwana.
Anajulikana sana na Je Uniungwana segment.
Hata ku streamline nini. It's very historical pia. He was the one. Unajua hiyo time radio was one ilikuwa kama ni one of the main media channel was radio. So if you want to maybe
anything important agency
lazima ikuwe through. Hata watu walikuwa nafutwa job na radio. Kwa mali lap hivi unasikia hauko job.
Na si wote tunajua.
Mpaka center ya kwenu hivi unashuka unajua job amechujwa. Ni kama venye sasa iko na social media nini radio. So when Kenya tulikuwa na coup
1982
he was the one mwenye alikuwa duty hiyo siku. Sijui kama alikuwa duty but yeye ndio alimake you announce.
I remember that day.
Alimake your news that now Kenya is under the military. So man, we celebrate in as much as it's sad. We really celebrate him.
Life well lived.
Life well lived. Kuna barabara inafaa ikuwe named after a statue. Man, we having very foreign names on our roads. Unajaribu kupiga hivi hesabu ni nani? Yani
sasa Du Bois ni nini? Du Bois ni nani?
Unaweza hadi shanga.
Like what's that?
That's a joke. I know who Du Bois is lakini.
Wewe unamjua. Mimi ya kuna watu wa relate.
Du Bois.
All right.
Julikani so.
I'm a sculpture.
We should have yani
all to go holiday man.
For real he deserves for all the reasons.
Remember to greatness.
A moment of silence for that. One time. Alafu pia kuna mwingine mwenzake the founder of Nation Media Group nini Aga Khan guy.
Aga Khan unfortunately lakini naye alikuwa ameishi all the way till 85 years old. Prince Aga Khan, the 49th hereditary imam of the Ism. Hiyo kitu imenishinda aje kusema the Muslim community.
Okay.
They're Shia Muslims, yeah.
Yeah, is it Ismaili?
Endelea tu. Usijonge kusoma hiyo.
Yeah, basically he was an icon. Queen Elizabeth gave him the title of His Highness after he inherited the Ismaili leadership from his grandfather. And he has the hospital upper Aga Khan Hospital, huge hospital. I think it's a level 5 hospital. It has so many resources. It's so well funded. And actually, if you guys didn't know, lazima tuwape nuggets of wisdom pale. He was a skier, yani ice skiing, and he represented Iran in the 1964 Winter Olympics. So he did great things with his life, including meeting presidents like JFK in the US. And we celebrate that. I think that's also a celebration of life because 85 years old is quite, it's up there.
Na Indomie yenye watu wanakula siku hizi.
Hawendi mbali.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yes, rest in peace, Aga Khan.
Rest in power. Is it the same guys behind NMG?
Nation Media Group, yeah?
Hey.
A lot of funding.
Mimi nili appreciate too the kind of networks that guy has had. The way the Supreme people now are going to, things could not happen kama Aga Khan aje put a word to it.
Imagine.
Urafiki yake ilikuwa na president. As in, bro, that is the kind of network I really want. But I believe we are going there, man.
We're going there.
Yeah, we are going there. And I'm really happy for this. Pentagon.
Hey.
Yeah, this is a Pentagon.
Last episode
That
was
was good.
pedestalized. This one is Pentagon.
The only way is top.
Yes.
So over the past as Nani resumed office Trump, I guess the first thing alifanya ni like to clear a lot of things. One of the major things ilikuwa the USAID funding yenye imekuwa, it has been very key and vocal, especially in Africa. Also in our country, it has also been key. Now I'm cut off, like I'm a scrap of your funding and everything. And I was saying somewhere that in aid a lot of projects, especially in this country, very key projects zenye I guess I feel like the national government should be responsible. I was saying mpaka kuna a unit in the police department inaitwa Peace Corps yenye iko fully funded na USAID. I don't understand really what they do exactly. So a number of NGOs nimeona pia kuna wase wamepewa ma compulsory kuhusu job zao. And it got me asking myself, like, are we really independent or dependent or over dependent as a continent? Because ikifika mahali stories za AIDS na tu so many years like after independence, we are still depending on aids from foreign countries. Mpaka naona kuna time ilikuwa naona nani huyu prime cabinet kwa news akisema like tupewe time like nani ape the Africans time ya kujipanga. And it was so sad to date manze. Wewe unahesabu unajua pesa ya corruption venye imekuwa ikiendelea.
I think that's what happens when you include debt into your budget. Nika kuishi na tala. Unajua unamaliza salo lakini bado unakopa do. Yeah, and that's very responsible. It's a lack of leadership.
Ni kama budget ya Fuliza.
Basically. It's very questionable.
Uko na limit yako tu mahali mpaka umebudgetia.
Normal.
So sad.
And I don't think it's simply a failure of leaders. It's also a failure of leadership. Hizo vitu ni mbili different. You see, so hizi mashida I don't think zitaisha even in our generation venye tunaendanga sijui maandamano, unless we have a serious think about what matters to us. And if it's not people and it's not home and it's not blood and soil, just the way Trump does, if you don't do that, bro, mtashinanga tu kumbe na national prayer breakfast mpaka mkufe. You know,
chenye tunajaribu kuonyesha, unaona wakati wa exams kuna kuongana machopi. Kuna tu machopi fulani wa class wanakuwa wanapiga buku, alafu kuna tu danda fulani anangoja siku ya exam anakuja kukaa karibu na chopi. So that is what Trump ni chopi ama America ni chopi. Sasa Trump amekuja walai tena mimi nimekuwa nikipiga na extend hata zifanye nini alafu unakuja so walai this time tuone kama mnaweza jitetea, unaweza pita hii exam ama no. Because man, kuna mali pia unachoka. Because okay, the morality of humanity should be like, if you are able to work so much to get extra, the next person who can't have should have. But you know, ukiendelea feed mtu anaanza anaanza kukubudgetia like I was reading an article also, it was saying like yearly over like $20 billion zinakuwa pumped into the Kenyan economy just kusaidia mambo na malaria nini. How many times do you get people wanazungumzia malaria? Yes, inaua watu, is deadly, but also corruption imeingilia that point. Very many people die because of malaria, but then the nation knows this is the time that maybe a report would be needed on how much has been spent. Hapo ndio unasikia kuna chanjo ya malaria sijui nini,
unatenda kusupply mosquito net. What iko?
So I think we really need to
So wake up call cause hakuna venye toka tutume like ilikuwa ni when was it last year but one time walipata oil in Turkana.
Kwanza hiyo oil
and then ati wanasema ati wanaichimba and then they go to refine it somewhere else.
To just hiyo story hata sina habari mimi by the way.
Watu walikuwa mezika oil alafu
unfortunately watu wana lose jobs. Over 40,000 people have lost their jobs. And as much as yes we want to say that yes America is the first world and the choppy of the class, and we might not be there, but we can get close to, but definitely not there.
It's definitely work.
But I think this is, as you said, a wake up call. That was the best way to put it. Yani watu sasa waone live, this is how it is. But you know, wenye tuko Maskania, Nairobi, Eastern, the guys in Northern Kenya wenye walikuwa na faidika na hii aid.
But you see,
now ndo na feel your impact.
You see another thing onto that your story. I've been to hizo parts za Northern, and one of the saddest thing niliona is that the major projects ama key projects ziko funded like they said. Yani nika feel so sad that hata hiyo time nikienda hizo sides za Samburu iliko project ya USAID. I was just going to work kidogo because subcontracted kwenda ku take photos. But new officials were from the USAID that were coming to like launch a project. Ilikuwa water project. Una imagine. Alafu I saw last year watu wakifanyiwa vetting. Those counties za huko Northern, they were leading in yani irregular tenders nini. So haifai kuwauma, unaona? Ni kitu wanaweza fanya, ni maji wanaweza chimba nini yani projects zote they have all the funding. I don't know, siko understand venye ni celebration. You imagine a county official akifurahia aid na mko allocated billions
allocated.
Why are you clapping?
Mtu wa governor apigia a white man makofi.
It's going to their pockets. Bana. Like wana nice to kufurahia tu doi kwa
that part ya allocated. Yani tayari kuna doi yenye ishasemekana ni ya kusaidia hii. Alafu sasa juu umepata aid fulani juu yake.
Alafu hizi aids ni hizi bodies za ziko aided, nime notice zilikuwa zinaenda sana hizo parts za Northern, and I felt like they are making leaders huko wawe very lazy ama sijui non creative, or they don't function, kwa sababu unajua at the end of the day kuna funding itakuja, kuna pesa tu fulani itakuwa pumped kwa hii project. And that's so sad. Yani mko na do yenu, mko na yani pesa yenu, resources zenu, lakini bado mko fully dependent. That's why nasema I'm not sorry for like when nimeona the government officials wako sad. Of course hiyo aid inatolewa, but I'm not sorry. I feel Paul amesema it's a wake up call. People need to like allocate, unaona, na watu wakuwe held responsible, unaona, for your actions. You still, I don't know, hata kunafaa kuwa na law yenye unaonanga history ya corruption. Sidhani kuna corruption case yenye ishai win.
Hakuna.
like mseme shikwa na corruption hivi
wanaguzianga tunafina
ama anakuwa harassed.
Unajua ni bishop ako in charge of EACC.
Noma sana.
Hata kama
That's the funniest, most ironic thing I've ever heard.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
you listen but you don't judge.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
You see, EACC should be one of the very lethal.
Inakonga independent ama
Integrity House. Yes.
la basi mwana who raised those people like mimi nilikuwa raised up in such a way that ningefanya makosa and nipigwe ama nifanye madheto niangalie na macho, the next time I'm trying to do the same shit ningekumbuka shit ilinihapenia, unaona. So I wouldn't try.
Paulo, but you see, not only one person sits on that seat. After some time, someone comes in.
Well,
that's why it's not just anyone can be the president. For you to be the president, you must have been in the system of this country. You have seen the dirty and the soft and the good and clean works of the other side of the government. That is the same thing that happens na EACC. Mtu anaweza kuja na intention, I want to help, but unafika pale, you know, you become, sasa wewe ndio unasaidiwa. Unakumbuka walai tena sasa nimekuwa nikiteseka huko nje. Unaweza kuwa na pesa lakini
na una expose
na sasa wewe ndio unapewa bro, maisha yako ndio inakuwa on the light na familia yako, you be like yo.
But it's just standing for the truth, like if you're placed in a situation where like you're supposed to change the system and then your system you try to overrun, what will you do? Will you go with the system or go your own way?
Yes, I can quit.
Sindio?
Yes.
So it's an option.
Yeah,
but maybe they are not given that option, bro.
To quit.
Uta quit,
is
but
always
then
an option.
yes, uta quit. Yeah, you'll quit, but sasa the warnings that you get past that quit, where they think you're not in the office to yap in front of cameras and mic, threats utakuwa unapata huko pali umetulia.
Kushika makende.
Bro, they might not come to you physically, bro, but the moment you exit, they know this guy is our enemy. The moment you don't work with them, just because you feel something can happen, then you become your own man outside the system. They know you are an enemy. So
hata ukiexpose, Paul, watch and kuulize, hata ukiexpose, what is going to happen exactly? What do you think is going to happen exactly?
People are going to know like this is happening and this is why this person is being threatened or this what's happened to this person.
Okay, the reason nauliza ni because I don't trust Kenyans. I don't trust Kenyans to do the right thing.
Kenyans wagani? The people
the people
who are
I'm talking about regular people. Regular people. Yes. Unakumbuka hata time ya maandamano kuna wale wazee, boomers 60s 70s wanasema watu wanafanya nini? What are they doing? Sasa hata mkipewa presidency nini mtafanya? It's such negativity and questions like that make you wonder what exactly is your incentive. What I told you the other time about lining up incentives such that see wote tunajua kwenye tunaenda. Unajua, because those leaders, they don't come from Mars and Uranus, they come from here. Yes, and that is a problem, that is the main problem.
So can we all agree that everything in a narrow down to like we are the problem? Hata historia ya aid. When you are silent wakati corruption inaendelea kwa county yako, alafu project inakuja funded and you just make it normal. Normal, yani ni aid tunapata ni normal.
Yeah. But who makes noise when they're being helped, man? Who makes noise?
Robert, hatuwezi fikiria hivyo bro. We must have some pride. As Africans, we must have some pride, bwana. Just keep talking. People will internalize it.
Kuna watu wanasomea chini ya mti sahi.
Imagine.
Aya, kuna place hakuna maji. At this time and age yani hakuna maji. Kuna places hata si huko northern or anywhere, kuna places hata hapa tu in central province or anywhere, kuna hospitali haina dawa. Haina dawa like hivyo. Una imagine hospitali ina dawa.
Na bado tuko na aid.
Na bado kuna aid.
Na imekatwa sasa.
Wacha aid. Kuna pesa ilikuwa allocated ya kufund hiyo hosi kwa dawa. But haina dawa. Unaona? Iko tu yani structure. Aje. Na wasee wako lined up hapo like unajua ndio uende, unajua hosi si showroom. Hawezi katu hujai chill hivi kwa sababu hujanipitia hujanipitia hapa nje alafu ni hakuna ka form hosi.
Form ya hosi ni uchungu.
Wazee ni need yako like hata ukienda pale uko at masses yani ile una hope wacha ndapata doc ndapata, but una imagine at that time at that place hakuna dawa. Una imagine ni kama si ndio watu tunaji-inject hiyo that pain. because when you are silent, when I choose to be silent, my neighbor choose to be silent. Unaona hizi evils zinaendelea tu naendelea kuiba.
But we tried last year to speak out.
We need to try more.
Building the right nation, the right future is not a one time thing. Sika kufanya exam, sika kufanya KCPE, si attempt. Ni kitu
progressive.
Exactly. Over years and years and years. So hata ukisikia Ruto must go, it's not Ruto. No one should take that personally.
Yeah.
Ruto,
it's not
yes,
personal.
it's not personal. Exactly.
When we say
bad leadership, bad leadership iende tu.
That's a symbol of bad leadership.
it is bad that
WRS. It's a symbol of bad leadership.
You can say that, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's not him specifically, it's the whole problem, the whole
team.
Cancer.
Inafaa iende.
But now we have the opportunity. You see, everyone out there is looking unto us. Paulo, with that mic, you have a responsibility to correct this government, and that is your shot.
First of all, I'd say it's about just being human and also being strict on things such as being accountable and stopping corruption, because corruption will let certain issues, because unapata do inaingia mtu ana get greedy and the more they're getting greedy, sisi wananchi, like the people on the ground don't naumia in terms of like schools, in terms of infrastructure, road, like tunakapitia hapa nje. So the moment wamekuwa strict on certain things about being accountable, it will be like a first step on taking things on the right side. So on my case, me naweza sema tu yo cut down things about corruption and taking people being accountable in such that kama msee ameamua kwa governor ama MP, MCA or whatever, wakwe na ndayakaje like box checkers, like analyst vitu watafanya on a certain term, 5-year term watakomefanya hizi vitu in these areas, and if the first 2 years hajaanza hata ama he doesn't have a plan on it, then anakuwa taken accountability, anakuwa accountable for it. Aseme what's happening, but what's your plan? No, because if you have a plan, the first year unafokuwa na already your plan. No. Amata like even before taking a stance that you're going to sit on that position, you have to have a plan. Like ujue, okay, mimi natakuwa governor, kuna shida gani Nairobi, kuna shida gani these areas, unaona? So this is what I will do. So ukienda ukae pale chini useme natakuwa governor wenyu, upromise those people, unajua nini na kuweka hapo. Na sasa ukiingia the first year, draft your plan, like your plan ianze ku work. So sasa like the moment inafika the 5th year, at least we're seeing changes. Unaona? Kwa hatuwezi kuwa tumekaa tu like 5 years na hata bado manifesto ya Urezo hakuna shit imehappen.
Watch a 5 hata 2 years. Alafu you just tell people at give us
time ya nini.
Why can't we develop a long-term plan that faces this, this aid that we keep on getting from other people gradually? Unapata, let's say this year tunataka kudeal na mambo na kureduce mambo na maybe food. Cause bro, wezi niambia ati tunatengeneza kahawa hapa inaenda majuu, sasa ndio irudi kama tununue. Bro, proper plan.
Unauliza wafanye job ya, you want politicians to do the job. That's funny.
Bro, we are really fucked up.
That's fact.
The government should broaden the revenue collection. But the problem is, when they broaden it, zinaingia kwa tumbo zao. They broaden it, but their stomachs become even more big. The last time I was traveling to Mombasa, my people, and I realized I passed through some place, hadi nikajiuliza, mimi kama Mkenya, MP wa huku kwa mfano tu wako wapi? There's some leaders seated somewhere to talk about things that concern them. Wakishakuja huku Nairobi, they forget, my God, that their people are in the village, voted by the people, let's say in Siaya Kogelo. Let me use my village, Kitawa.
Kweli.
Kuna polls za stima zilikuwa zimepitishwa kufika sehemu fulani. All of them, they have gone down because unaika pale prototype of what, unajua watu ushago kionyesha kitu kama hii inakuja, they can praise you for the next 5 years. Hata kama umeingia on your first year, first month umeweka poll, they'll praise you for the next 5 years. They forget that there are other things that they need to do. So I think we should just be ready to face these people head on like we did last time, and I hope this time we will not just be facing them on social media. We also need to take up Nini and go and vote, because change begins when we take that initiative. You cannot, let me say, kuna Msanii mmoja hapa Kenya alisema hata useme asali mara ngapi utamu haitawahi fika. Kwa nini? Kwa mdomo. That is what every Kenyan wish for. That is King Kaka, by the way. Big shout out my guy.
Big shout out.
So we cannot live by wishes. We are past that. Wazazi wetu ndio na our grandparents they could have done that, but we are beyond living by wishes. We need to just face it. Yes.
May I feel, as I said, me bado nimestick to people are the problem.
Yep.
I feel like the root cause of everything ni like your story at tribe. Jikosha, you notice?
True.
Like we need to like have a tribeless movement. Unaona? Like the one we had. Because nime notice tunakuwa tribeless each and every other time, but tukikaribia election we get to know like aya kuna kura za Central,
kumbe jirani yako anakuanga Mkikuyu
Western, so region we need to break boundaries and we like hizo tribal politics stafas tuziishe kwa sababu tribal politics imefanya like people we no longer think. Unaona? Na nilikuwa nasoma quote fulani ya I guess ni Hitler or someone alikuwa anasema politicians are so lucky because people don't think. Unaona? Atakuja tu azubai achikio time alafu ikikaribia tu election akuja awaambie tu kitu because he's our tribe man. People have voted a lot of morons to control a lot of big things. Na wafanyi shit wako tu.
Man, Kenyans forget. And we forget na speed
very fast. Hata history ya sijui impeachment I was seeing people wakisema mtu wetu sijui nini na national muna jam nini. Like akiwa hapo ni alikuwa anafanya. Ama nini alifanya hapo. I guess the root cause we need to have a tribeless vibe, not only in youths but inafaa tu akikuwa mtu sijui kutoka tribe yangu akikuwa president akipatisha unga mimi mwenyewe
bado una feel
hiyo unga state house hiyo unga na nanunua hiyo bei tu. So I guess tribeless can work magic on having us making a move or a revolution. That's my take, I guess.
I think it starts with the youth like us in this room voting, going out there putting kura kwa the right person and educating, even if it will be hard to convince enyewe the older generation that to be tribeless is a thing and it should be the next move. Very hard to convince them that. Lakini sisi as the youth, like we united last year June July and we were able to face off history ati wewe ni wa hii kabila pana. We are tunaumia hapa, like what can we do to be able to sort this thing? Let's show that tunaumia regardless of where you come from ama mazingira yako ni wapi. Like regardless of that, it starts with us hapa and conversation is the movement. So wewe kuambia kaka yako ama kuambia light conversation is what will push this thing forward.
Maze, I can't disagree with what he said. Talking and I think people think by talking. I think the more you people talk about something, it's like they're thinking about. Ni kama venye unafikirianga personally kwa akili yako. So as a group, our brain is the conversation in a way. So you can move from stage A to stage B depending on what it is you're discussing. So imambo ya nation building is not as we said before, it's not a 2-day thing, it's not a 3-day thing. But I think the first thing that should remain on everyone's minds are hakuna shida za Wakisii, hakuna shida za Wajaluo, so take your pride back, take your power back, have some pride. Fala kikama hapo anaanza kusema katakateni hao watu sijui wameanza kusumbua nini, hao watu sijui wanakuanga aje, ni faru ni dwanzi. We all know this. People from the disco era like to think they're very clever because they have billions and suits. That's simply not true. So think by talking and talk the right things, right? So at the end of the day, it's not about where you come from, it's about how much you have and how much money you make and the problems that you face and the problems that can be solved by that money. Hiyo pesa yenye inaibiwa ni pesa yenye inaweza kuwa inakusaidia. So if you don't talk about these things, maze, ukiachia tu watu mafisi tu uko juu sijui akina Kasmuel, they'll take advantage of you guys and their platform. So talk, develop a vision and know what you stand for. Si kusaidiwa kila saa.
Yes sir.
Kuwa na ego kiasi as a people.
I also feel like we should hold people accountable. Unaona?
True that.
People are escaping a lot of shit kwa sababu they're not held accountable. Like somebody can do anything na anajua yenye I have a bunch of lawyers. Ushaona mtu wa corruption akipresentiwa na like 15 lawyers or something.
Aje.
Unaona? The case is dragged mpaka tunasahau na anaenda tu hivyo anapotelea hivyo. I guess the first thing we should hold leaders accountable. Unaona? Starting from the ministry, unaona? Uwezi niambia health iko in its last stage na kuna minister wa health mwenye yani hiyo story inamhusu like what do you do each and every morning ukienda kwa ofisi unaona like naenda ku report
una report
unafanya una clock in alafu what do you do the entire time in office what do you do that's only minister we should hold each and every person mwenye ako kwa leadership accountable if this project is not working tunamkuta
and also
like,
give
bona ifanyi kazi na ilikuwa funded I guess yo
accountability
leadership haifai kuwa a comfort zone it should be a working area yani inafai kuwa men at work
kweli
inaendelea tu because you have everything
vitu hizo compromise ni health na education you don't play with health and education like those are the most important things
this age kuna migomo ya walimu
aje daktari on strike aje unaenda hosi unakosa medication how
we appreciate that tumekuwa pia tukipata msaada kutoka mataifa ya nje lakini courtesy extended is not a responsibility nikikusaidia chwani mara ya kwanza ya pili ya tatu ukiniona Friday tena isikue Roberta ni so responsibility mzee then we just we need to go back to the drawing board as a people nilikuwa nimesema pale initially we need to go back to the drawing board and just combine our passion and see what we can do when we all have
kuja maji ulale
bana home is where the heart is
stop
this is where the resources ziko people need to be held accountable and this is a wake up call hata kama yes watu wamepoteza jobs zao and it's horrible that hii funding imepuliwa out pause bila any yani hakuna warning yenye ilipeanwa it is just one time but this is definitely a chance for us to restructure rebuild and pull the resources to the right places where they are needed and to the right people hopefully
by the way umesema holding them accountable we should also give praise where it is due kuna governor wa Murang'a Irungu Kang'ata like to give a very huge shout out to honorable Kang'ata kwa sababu hiyo kazi anafanya huko na umse akwangi na madrama akwangi na makesi akwangi na mascandal every day we have aided farmers with loans interest free loans and whatever we have dug holes we've bought their produce at a profit at a huge nini or higher than market prices and sold it back to them or sold it out or we've added value to their plants and whatnot so kila siku unaonanga hizo vitu and we are very happy with that so as much as we are holding bad leadership accountable we are also giving praise to those that are doing good jobs so
Salasia kijana anakanga joka lakini anapiga mboka
nitamwangalia
anapiga mboka
we look into it I haven't seen his numbers but I know for sure Kang'ata
anapiga mboka okay niliona he was saying that history alikuwa hosted kwa certain radio station alikuwa anasema that in his constituency ataki story na ati youth amaliza KCSE and then ana go into border anataka like they go to get into technical institutions to get the skill cause
so anafuatilia
like anaambia like border ita ku stay for long but the skills that you'll get itakupeleka on a certain level and then you'll get more from it
get more money
yani nakuambia kwamba hoteli ni kwa wanaopenda lakini nyumbani ni kwa wanaopendwa sisi kama wananchi wa taifa la Kenya tusiwe tunakula katika hoteli za nchi za nje nyumbani kuna sehemu tunaweza kula kuna meko tunaweza andaa chakula chetu tule karibu na kitanda kama tuwezi kula kitandani unacheki na nimemaliza
kwa hayo guys just make sure you like this content subscribe hapo mtu wangu we appreciate the numbers we appreciate each and every one of your comments we read every comment that you put down there. Make sure you share this with someone, beshte yako, bebu wako, kiza hii kitu na mpoa wako. Make sure this conversation doesn't just stay between you two. Make sure it goes out to the rest of the people. And for the people on Spotify, make sure you drop a comment pale chini and like and follow our content. This is the School of Life.
Doses.
Peace.
Over and out.